Hey YouTube, Joe Walker here at Def Digits Guitar Lessons, and I'm going live right now for my student Tim. He's an absolute beginner on the guitar, so if you are too, then this lesson will help you out. I'm going to teach you how to play that song I was just playing right there. So I'm going to include some technique tips. If this really is day one on the guitar or you're a guitar beginner, there's some important things you need to know. Step one is how to hold the guitar. So let's look at that. The guitar has these curves right here and right here. The one on the top we don't really care about, but the one on the bottom needs to go over one of our legs. So it can go over the right leg, it can go over your left leg. One leg will stick the bulk of the guitar right between your legs like that. One way we'll stick it kind of off the edge like this. This is the normal, conventional, casual way to hold the guitar. Is if you're right-handed, you got a standard setup on the guitar. It's going on your right leg, and it's got to be that part right there goes on your thigh, just like that, which means it can tilt this way and it can tilt this way. And we want it to tilt this way with the neck up. Now that puts the body of the guitar kind of off the edge of your leg like that. It might feel like it's imbalanced and it's going to fall off. So try to strike a balance where your hand, your right arm is going to pin it in place against your ribs over here. And this is on your right leg, and then the neck is pointing higher than horizontal. In fact, the higher you can get your neck to point, the better. When I play, I normally have it at about this angle. And one other thing, since we're in 3 dimensions here, it's also pointing in front of me. So if you can see a little bit of this, the guitar is not straight left and right in front of me like this. Not at all. That's the way you sort of see it when you look at a 2-dimensional picture of someone. A lot of people try to play this way, and it puts your arms in an awkward position, and it's hard to get the guitar in the right position. So you let that guitar point out in front of you. So when I grab the guitar with my left hand, it's sort of like my left hand is meeting the guitar in line with the center of my body. Oftentimes that's right where it lines up. So pin it against your right rib cage with your right arm, neck higher than horizontal. Then we can start playing. I use a pick when I play. If you don't have a pick, you can just use your thumb on the strings like this. If you do have a pick, then just try to hold it between your thumb and index finger only. And then try picking the same string over and over like this. You'll notice you need very small movements with your pick to pick the same string over and over. You can do this on any of your different strings. And try doing it as fast as you can with those small movements and keep it accurate. On this song, we're going to be picking that lowest string. This is the low E string. And we're going to go to fret 5 to begin with. In the left hand, to find the different frets, you're going to take one of your fingers, whichever one you're most comfortable pressing down with, and just count up the frets. Fret 1 is right there. That's the metal bar that goes into the neck. That's fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, fret 5. Now, how are you going to find that again quickly? You don't want to be counting up to it every time you have to go to fret 5. Take a look at your instrument. You're going to have dots or inlays or fret markers at different points. So most people have them at fret 3, 5, 7, 9. I also have one on this guitar at fret 1. If you look around at the other guitars in the room, they might have them at slightly different locations. This one has it at fret 3, 5, 7, 9 again. So on your guitar, make sure you notice where they are. There's probably a dot at fret 5. It might be your first dot or might be your second dot. Whatever it is, look at your guitar and make sure you know how to find fret 5 again quickly so that you can get there next time you need it. Ditto when you do some other song that requires fret 9 or fret 7 or wherever it is. Make sure you count up to it at first if you need to, and then start to get used to where your fret markers are so you can find those quickly. So this song, called 25 or 64 by Chicago, is going to fret 5 first. That's what we want to play first. With your thumb, that would sound like that. And you can do it slower, like that. Or with a pick, it will sound like. Now, there are a couple things I'm doing to help me get that sound right. My index finger in my left hand is on the tip of the finger, curled all the way over like this. I don't want to go flat. And I don't want it to go backwards like this. I don't want any backwards knuckles. Whoops, sorry. I want my finger to curve all the way over so that when my finger gets to the string, it's on the very tip. This portion of the finger is pointing straight into the guitar neck. And that presses the string down with maximum force and minimal effort in your hand. We want that fingertip to be right up against the fret. So that's my fret 5 right there. I want my fingertip right up against it, not quite on top of it, but against it so I can feel it, like I'm leaning against it with that finger. And that gets us the clearest sound. I hardly have to press it down with any force at all because I'm using the strong curved bone of my finger right there, the curved knuckles with the straight bone at the end pushing straight in, and I've got it right next to the fret. So I hardly have to put any effort into it. If you don't have that technique down in your left hand, maybe it's like this away from the fret, you'll get that. You might have to press really hard to get that note to sound clear. And we don't want to train your left hand to press really hard. We want it to be easy. So you have to be careful in the beginning about building the right habits. Always curved fingers all the way over. We don't want any of them doing this. Always curved, fingertips right next to the frets. So we do that on fret 5, and we get it 5 times with the pick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On that last one, you can relax this finger to cut the note off so that we don't get this. We don't want that last note to ring. We just want it to cut off. So if you relax this finger without taking it off the string, you get that. If you take it off the string, you get a new note. We don't want that. So just relax it so you're not pressing the string anymore. Then we go to fret 3. Same thing there. Fret 2, same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go fret 1 and then fret 0. We're going to do 4 picks on each one. So fret 1, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 0 means you take your finger off the string completely. That's the open string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're back where we started. So again, that's fret 5. We get 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And cut it off with your left hand. Fret 3, 5 notes again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut it off with your left hand. Fret 2, 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut it off. And we got 4 on each of these, fret 1 and 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to where we started. So as you're doing those 1, 2, 3, 4 on 0, don't let your hand just hang out here. Your hand doesn't need to be over here. Get it back up there ready to start on fret 5 again. So I'm going to play this slowly and I'll gradually speed up. So grab your guitar and play along right here. I'm going to start slowly and I'll just gradually start speeding up. And as soon as you fall off and you can't keep track anymore, you just airplay it over the strings. Imagine you're playing it. And then you can keep up with me in the air, hopefully. So I'll start and you join in. Great. That was probably up to full speed with the real song like that. Of course, you can take it faster if you want to, but there's no reason to play it beyond that speed. And as you're working on it, if you can't get up to that speed yet, then just rewind through this section of the video, try playing along with it again, come back to it tomorrow, try it again. and just focus on that technique. All these technique tips I've given you, it's impossible to think about any of those while you're also trying to play a song. So the technique stuff, you have to think about that stuff as you're setting up to play, because you won't have any brain power to think about that stuff while you're playing. And then you play, and then you assess how you did with the technique. It's helpful to have a video of yourself or to watch in the mirror, see how your technique is going, because you're not going to be able to think about that while you're playing. So quick review of all the technique. Guitar goes here on your right leg, pinned against your rib cage on the right side. Neck is pointing higher than horizontal, and it's pointing out in front of you, diagonally across your chest, out in front of you. Right arm pins the body of the guitar to your right rib cage, holds it in place there. Your left arm should not be holding the guitar in place. I didn't talk about that very much, but it is your right arm that holds it in place, and it does not fall from here. Your left arm should not be trying to hold it up like that while you're playing. Left fingers, you're going to have fingertip right next to the fret, curved knuckles all the way over. Right hand, if you're holding a pick, is going to be between your thumb and index finger only. Let's see, any other technique tips I gave you today? I don't think there were. That should be a lot to work on in the beginning. A lot of different technique things to think about, and they don't all just happen automatically. It takes constant vigilance, watching out for what your right arm is doing and what your left arm is doing, because your body's going to want to do its own thing. Your body doesn't know guitar yet. You're going to teach it the right way to play guitar, an efficient way to play the guitar, a way that's not going to hurt you and it's not going to hinder your playing. Good luck. Take it easy, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.